Alleged serial killer Sifiso Mkhwanazi is expected to know today if the confession he made to his father will be admitted as evidence. Earlier this week, Mkhwanazi's father told the High Court sitting in Palm Ridge that his son confessed voluntarily to the murders and rape of 6 sex workers. However, on Wednesday, the accused testified before the court that he was forced into that confession. The 21-year-old is accused of raping and killing 6 sex workers between April and October of 2022. He faces a string of charges, including murder and rape. Newzroom Africa's Nqobile Madlala joins us now live from Palm Ridge. Nqobile, very good morning to you. Of course, a very important day today as we try and get more detail on whether or not this confession will be admitted. What's to be expected?
Well, yes, that's correct. I mean, you'll remember that yesterday we had an issue of a quick adjournment because defense was not here, mainly because the defense was ill. Now, we do know that they are here today, and what we also know is that defense is going to be producing final arguments, and of course then we will know from the ruling from that what is going to happen to this confession. And of course this confession has been a huge question around it, mainly because it happened between a father and a son, and the son seems to believe that this was recorded whilst the father and, of course, the prosecutor saying that, and the investigating officer saying that it was not recorded. So we are, of course, going to find out what is court saying about it. Can it then continue as part of the evidence as the trial continues? So that trial within the trial will be concluding today, mainly based on what that outcome will be. But we do know from defense that they also expecting about 5 more witnesses is what the defense did tell us about, saying that they still yet to quiz that. So we will see if that will take place, of course. But we understand that that trial within a trial will conclude.
As we have been watching this case, what has come out so far as we try and piece the story together over what may have occurred as the 6 sex workers were found dead?
Well, it's quite a sad one, really, if you think about the fact that these are the workers that are out there that already feel like they are victimized quite daily and that they cannot talk about what they do, mainly because there's still quite a lot that's still yet to be done in the country to look in terms of what, if that work can be completely legalized. So now there's quite a lot that's still yet to come out in terms of how they were found, but we do know that these 6 bodies were found in a warehouse, which we understand at this point that the workers had identified Sifiso Mkhwanazi as the person that had picked up some of the co-workers, but yet they never came back. So very tragic. We had seen also some of the parties that speak on behalf of these workers talking about how difficult the work is to start off with, because safety is being a huge issue. And so when something like this happens, they really do want justice. So that in itself becomes a major thing in terms of how does a 19-year-old end up killing the 6 sex workers. So that's going to be one of the major issues, looking into how this crime took place, which led into the caretaker, of course, calling the father and explaining what they had seen, and the police coming on the scene. Investigations into that crime, and we know that that crime happened about 2 years ago, and 2 years later now we find ourselves within this trial taking place currently, with Sifiso Mkhwanazi being the main perpetrator at this point, or the alleged perpetrator. So it will be interesting to find out how a 19-year-old actually got to do such a crime, and if there was any assistance, and if there's any way. And of course we know that investigations are still continuing.
Very well. Nqobile Madlala giving us a breakdown of that case as we will be watching it throughout the course of the day.